You are now tuned into the Cut Game radio show hosted by Groom City.
It's the Cut Game radio show, we let them know we stay true
To the Cut Game.
Yeah, that's how we do. It's the Cut Game radio show, we let them know we stay true
To the Cut Game.
Yeah, that's how we do. It's the Cut Game radio show, we let them know we stay true
To the Cut Game.
Yeah, that's how we do.
The Cut Game radio show hosted by Groom City.
That's how we do.
Hey, what's going on? It's Groom City. You guys are now tuned in to the Cut Game radio show, #1 podcast for your hair needs. And right now, I had to get my Skype situation up. I had to get my phone call situation up. So right now, we set up for our phone call for the Cut Game radio show. So we're located in Southern California. So we've been privy to all the dope barbers, that comes through Southern California. But it's so many dope barbers out there globally. There's so many dope barbers out there domestically. So I had to reach them through the phone. We set up right now to do phone call interviews, and the first barber I had to hit up was a barber out in Philadelphia, and that barber is Faheem Alexander. So today I got Faheem Alexander on the phone, and right now we about to just chop up some real good cut game. We're going to get real historical, but for the most part, we're going to sit here and we're going to really get to know Faheem from his background all the way up. So what's going on, Faheem?
What's up, brother? I'm out here in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. You know where I'm from. I'm born and bred. I said, like I stated before, barbering is very prestigious here in Philadelphia. Even our least experienced barber in the city of Philadelphia, he starts out cutting good or cool because he'll learn, how to cut the right way. Cut the way that the established barbers cut. If he pays attention, he or she pays attention to the established barber, they will gain that DNA. That DNA is really potent with cutting hair, especially in the city of Philadelphia. Also, you want to cut a good head because you don't want to build a bad reputation for yourself. I have taken guys, that didn't know how to cut anything, and they came into my system, my platform, and they learned, how to cut hair and how to efficiently, how to cut hair correctly. Now, after, what they do with the talent that they do learn from working under my umbrella on my platform, it's pretty much on them because, it's really potent DNA, and they can really save yourself. Mm-hmm. You can save your family, raise a good family, because, a lot of barbershops in Philadelphia, they want, barbers that do come from me, because they get that polished signature cut, especially if they stay around me long enough.
Nah, definitely. Now, your reputation is so strong in Philadelphia. I want you to take us back to Faheem, young Faheem. What got you into barbering, but can you bring us down to a little bit of your childhood, so we can take that journey with you real quick?
Oh, definitely. We just start. I was influenced with barbering in the 80s. 86, 87, my mentor, which his name is Jazz. He was a local basketball star, played basketball in high school, but he had a talent cutting hair, and he would cut. His best friend was Nate Blackwell, star basketball player of South Philadelphia High School in the 80s, and that was his best friend. So he would always cut him because he was fly. For the games, you know what I'm saying? It's tight for the basketball games. So, he gained his notoriety from that. And he had like a small shop, and, he was friends with my mother. And my mother would trust me with him. She would just go sweep the barbershop and make some quarters. So, I built a relationship with him early on, just way below adolescent age,
Yeah.
8, 9, 10 years old. This is the 80s, I'm sweeping the floor and cleaning the clippers off and, being a little runner in the shop, go to the store to get lunch, just that the clippers, I just fell in love with the clippers, just touching it, turn the power on, and the power just flowed through the clipper, and, it just had my mind ever since, I just couldn't put it down. So, fast forward.
Now, how was I want to stay in that barbershop. Now, how was the barbershop environment during this time?
At that time in the 80s, it was a crack epidemic, pretty much like any other urban city in the United States of America. Drugs were being sold around it, and all the major, drug dealers at the time, they would come to Jazz and get haircuts. He had good relationships.
So it was like a safe haven?
It was a safe haven.
Neutral grounds?
It was neutral grounds, It wasn't no hate because, we didn't understand hate because that's the only thing we had was the barbershop. Everybody loved Jazz. And, I was his guy to clean the barbershop, go to the store, so everybody knew me. And, he took a little dive in life, fell victim to drugs. But, I always had my mind on him. I would actually go and look for him to come and cut me and my siblings' hair. This is when, kind of like lost the barbershop. He hit rock bottom, to drugs. And this always was my guy. He stood about 6'4", 6'3", 6'4". He was always tall and slim.
Mm-hmm.
And I always looked up to him. So, I would go and look for him. He was living in abandoned houses and stuff like that. But
now, what age were you when you would go looking for him? How old were you?
I was about 10, 11 years old. But this was my guy. You know what I mean? My guy I looked up to him.
Now, was he like a father figure to you a little bit, or?
Indeed, yes. Just somebody I looked up to that, that was making honest money cutting hair and taking care of himself. This was always fly.
So you wasn't really attracted during this time, like you said, it was the 80s, a lot of crack era, a lot of drug, especially in the inner city, but you weren't really attracted to that. You were more attracted to people that was making an honest living?
Making an honest living, yes, because, nobody in my family been to jail, and, my mother would be on me about, making an honest quarter for yourself. She just told me, go to the barbershop, shoot the barbershop, do that. And, I had a relationship, she had a relationship already with the owner, Jazz, so that was just an easy transition for me.
Yeah.
So, I looked up to him. Now, fast forward, when he went to get himself together, it's between, 88 and 91, he went to go get clean. And he went and got clean from drugs. And around time, between that time, them 3 years, 89 to 92, I started experimenting with cutting hair. This is the 90s. I started experimenting with, cutting my relatives, cutting myself, and, just had an idea, what he was doing to cut hair. And I had little brother on my block. By that time, he was older than me at the time, though, a guy named Steve. He was really, 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 really good at cutting hair. And it's kind of like he was cutting hair in his grandmother's basement. And we would all go down to his basement and watch him cut hair. I'm like, hey, I could really do this. I had watched some really, really good dudes cut hair.
Mm-hmm.
I just fast forward and start trying it myself. So this is 90, 91. So 92 come around, I'm 14 years old. 92. So, I go back to my mentor. He's clean now from drugs. I'm like, hey, man, I cut hair now because of you.
Okay.
So he couldn't believe it. So he's like, yo, come on in. I'm at 14 years old, man. Still the same.
Now he's at a shop. He's at a shop during this time.
He had another shop, and he's clean now from drugs. So he said, come on, come on, come on, cut some hair. So that saved my life. Barber saved my life as a teen.
Wow.
He saved my life.
That's a pretty powerful statement. Let's park it there for a second. That's a pretty powerful statement when you say barbering saved your life. Why do you feel that way?
Because at that time in Philadelphia, there was a lot of gang warring going on, My best friend, was involved in that stuff. So it was easily influenced to guns were accessible. And I was afraid of them. My mom, she would always be up on me about guns. My grandfather gave me guns, and I good, and I said. And he would always tell me, bullets don't have no names. So it was like a powerful statement from him, bullets don't have no name. You take that gun, you fire that gun to the street, it's bound to hit anybody and damage someone's life. So, those stories I hear from my grandpa. So, I kind of came less interested in guns. Whereas though my peers, brothers I grew up with, they went head on into the gang violence. Me, I said, I'm going to the barbershop. Safe haven, or safe haven. Still, sweep the floors, and you allow me to cut hair where I can cut hair at. Allow me to do it. So, kind of built my reputation from 1992. I worked up under him as a barber, practicing barbering from 1992 to 1999 for 7 years. I worked up under him.
Were you full time or were you?
Nah, I was in high school. So it'll be after school, when I finish up school. It'll be after that, come home, skip homework, going straight to the barbershop. Because I love it so much. I want it so much. I want it to be good. You know what I mean? I want it to be good. So, I mean, back then it was a struggle. So a lot of work that I put in, you know, it paved the way for a lot of new barbers today in Philadelphia.
Wow.
Yeah, whether or not they want to pay homage or not, but you know, they should know that history. As any barber in any city, know your history. Because there's a gentleman here, his name is Maximilian.
Okay.
He's the man. You know, Max been cutting hair for about 50 years now. He's an older gentleman, and he's 64 years old, and he still cuts hair in Philadelphia, downtown Philadelphia. This smack center city. Only black man with a barbershop. He's been down there for about 25 years, 30 years, cut hair. And that's a model where you want to get to when practicing barbering in Philadelphia. You want to put those 30, 40, 50 years in, and you know, you put them long times in. After a while, it don't be able to be about money. It be about legacy, leaving a legacy for your children, build us out for your children, so they can have. So you know, I used to hear Mr. Max name all the time. Then out the clear blue, Mr. Max gave me a call. And he, you know, he's new to social media. He's 64 years old, but knows good hair cutting. Because good hair cutting, your character, reached out to me just to say, you know, hey man, I'm watching you, man. I'm like, Mr. Max?
Now how recent was this call?
This was 2 months ago.
Oh, okay.
Two months ago. So I'm like, Mr. Max, this is Mr. Maximilian? I'm like, get out of here, man. So, you know, we just, you know, became friends like right after that. Last couple months. About 2.5, about 3 months. Called me out the clear blue.
Man, so he's on social media? Is that how he got your contact?
Yes, I got my contact on social media, yes. At 64 years old, his mind is still sharp and intact. And, you know, he said, I like the way you work your social media. You know, I'm not really keen at that. I'm learning. You know what I mean? Like my customers, everybody was trying to teach me how to do it. But he knows how to find a number. He found my cell phone and we call him out the clear blue.
Man.
But that's what I mean by legacy, man. He's a hairstylist too. And you know, his name's dominant, big in Philadelphia in the 80s. But I never heard of him until maybe like the 90s when I heard of Maximilian. But I never paid it no mind, you know, the power that this brother has, man. He has a lot of power.
Yeah, that's a hell of a name too.
Oh man, it's awesome, man. You know what I mean? I've got stories for days, man. His barbershop is in Center City, and it's a window setting, and he cuts up in the window, and you see everybody, all the new life that walks past his window, and he cuts so many different people. And like I said, he started off doing styling hair. And, you know, Cosmo, so he has Cosmo license, he has barber license, he's old school too. And he still dressed real sharp, man, and he plays by the book. And, you know, I really respect him and, you know, love him for that. So, you know, he said, I'm going to show you. I said, I don't really know how to cut straight hair that like good. This is recent. I could do it, you know, enough to get past. But he said, I'm going to show you the correct way to do it. And I don't even want no money because I see where you're going. And I want you to have these skills. So, you know, it's just been so dope just talking to him. I talk to him damn near every day. He calls me. And, you know, he just recently just told me, he said, man, you're like a son to me. Now, this is somebody I just met that I kind of like, you know, looked up to from afar, but just always heard about it. I told him that. He said, man, you're like a son to me. You know what I mean? A son to me, because, you know, his son has a bout with drugs and, you know, just still struggles in his life. And he talks about that. So he said, you know, you are what I wanted my son to be. So I'm like, wow, that's a powerful statement too. Just the elder, I call him the godfather of barbering in Philadelphia. The godfather.
Dang.
He's 64 years old and still cut hair. With the best of them.
Yeah. Hey, you know, it's crazy. Just hearing your story a little bit, it's crazy how important it is to have a father figure at a young age. But it seems like when you reach an older age, maybe it's just as important to have a son figure. If maybe that's not a word, but, you know, just a son figure. It seems like the same type of importance it might reverse on you when you get a true elder. What you think about that?
Nah, it's definitely important. I mean, you my father wasn't around. I had my grandfather.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? He taught me a lot of core values in life, my grandfather. And, I respect him and love him to the day. He's deceased now, God bless him. But he never told me that wrong. Never. You know what I mean? He kind of like guided me. Like, he was the messenger, the God sent. And he just gave me the message. And I followed it. Still hear him talking in my head, telling me, do this, do that. You'll be all right. And like everything that he told me, it wasn't a lie. It wasn't a lie at all. So back at me, with my mentor, it was time for me, he had a couple shops that he had got. First, he was in the enterprising, early on, he was doing the franchising himself, like barbershops. Like he had a crazy business mind. So when he got himself straight, as far as clean, he would seek out, commercial properties in our area, and he would take his barbershop money and he would invest in the commercial buildings. He would rent them, and he would put barbershops in them. And in South Philly, it was a couple buildings that were commercial, and he just set up shop. You know what I mean? Put barbershops in them. You know what I mean? It just gave people jobs and helped people. You know what I mean? That was a support system. His formula worked for quite a while. It's still working to the day because he still cuts hair and he still has several barbershops in the same area. So his formula worked. After like 99, I went on my own. After working for him for 9 years, I went on my own. 7 years. 92. About 7 years. And I went on my own. And I've been on my own ever since 1999. I've been on my own entrepreneur.
Now, were you licensed in 99?
Yes, I had got my license in 1998 through an apprenticeship program.
Okay.
In Philadelphia. So right out of high school, maybe like a year later, maybe like 9-10 months later, something like that. I went and got my barber license. And I passed the exam. I fell like a couple questions, but I went right back in. Take it. Like the next day. This is when they were allowing you to take it the next day if you fail. So I took it the next day and I passed it. So I've been licensed since, when I get my license? I got my license in 99.
Now, how old were you in 1999?
18, 19.
Okay. So, from an artistic standpoint, I want to find a little bit more about Philadelphia. Now, like I was saying earlier, born in Maryland, moved from Maryland to Detroit, and then from there to California. Now, in California, I jumped on barbering early, and I would always hear about Philadelphia style of cutting. Always exposed to Philadelphia style of cutting.
Break it down to there's just one gentleman here in Philadelphia in the 80s and the 90s was so dominant. His name is Mark Lightfoot.
Okay.
He owns the Philadelphia Hair Company. So he is influential too as well in Philadelphia because he was cutting Teddy Riley from Guy. Teddy Riley was very big. And he cut, all the musicians around Teddy Riley. And, he was real influential. This is when the Eagles had Reggie White and Randall Cunningham back in the day. He cut Randall Cunningham here. So, Randall was the man back then. So, he cut everybody here. So all the celebrities, when they come to town, they go to Life. But a lot of concert promoters, they went there too. So, when they bring the acts to Philadelphia, and also the brothers sold tickets as a Ticketmaster outlet, in the shop. So he gained a lot of notoriety. And he's really, really good. He's still cut here to the day. And he was cutting Bob Johnson back then. When Bob Johnson was the CEO of BET, he used to cut Bob Johnson's hair. So Bob Johnson used to let a Philly guy cut his hair as well. So, he was really, really dominant, and his shop was really dominant, and he breeded a lot of barbers from his shop and his brand back then. He's in another part of the city of Philadelphia, but he, was always really, really good at cutting hair. So that's one shop that I always watched when I was young, and when I started to drive, because he's about 25 minutes from where I was at, so I used to drive out to his shop, to sit in there to go get haircuts, try to suck up as much as I can. And, he always had a lot of nice barbers, like really, really good. So he kind of like set the staple too. So you had Max and Megan, you had like Mark Lightfoot. then my mentor is Jazz. That's who I follow. But these are three guys, and they still cut to the day. And I still watch. I can still go see them and visit them and talk to them and pick their brain. But what they tell me is like, I like what you're doing because I hear so much about you. Now, these guys made their mark, right? And there wasn't even no social media back in the day. Our social media was the Solid Gold magazine. Are you familiar with that?
Yeah.
Yeah. So you had Carlos Payne, which was the photographer, and his wife. They had the magazine for barbers. Everybody paid about $3,000, $2,500, $3,000 to get in this magazine every year to barbers that get into this book because your work is going. And they had distribution, so your picture of your work would be seen around the country because they were selling these books at a high rate everywhere. So we used to get phone calls to our barbershop, people from down south, because they seen the Solid Gold magazine that asked us, how do we did so-and-so haircut? What style is it? What clipper did you use? This is before social media. People used to call our barbershop and ask us, how did we do that fade? Or how did we do those points? Like how? You know what I mean? And it was incredible. You know what I mean? All this just cutting hair and me just hiring, the right people to work with me. You know what I mean? We had something going on as young men. And we stayed out of trouble cutting hair. So then, I had an opportunity to meet Black Thought of the Roots.
Now,
So,
what era was this, or what year was this when you met him?
This was 1997. All this is like around the time me transitioning out of high school and me trying to find out what did I want to do in life. Like far as my life, like what did I want to do? So, I just start connecting the dots and meeting all the right people. Then, I connected with him, the Roots were just taking off and their platform was getting bigger and bigger and bigger. So, I would cut him and I built a relationship with him. This is how I got into the entertainment industry, cut hair through the Roots and working with them. And I've been working for them for like 20 years now. So
you still groom Black Thought?
No, not no more. It's not like that no more. He busy, I'm busy, but I still work. At the fellowship.
Oh, okay. So while you were working in the barbershop during the late 90s, early 2000s, what was your first major transition from that shop?
My first major transition was going on tour with the Roots. The Roots had their own tour budget, for doing their shows, their own live shows, and they started an OK Player Records, which allowed them to have an OK Player tour. So I went on tour with them to like 50-something cities, in 2000, Black Thought just told me, yo, come and just jump on the bus and just ride with me, just cut my hair. So that was like really love. That was my transition. That was my stepping out party. So, I got pictures, like pictures don't lie. I got pictures for days, of the celebrities and stuff and cutting their hair. So, I learned about cutting in the entertainment industry working up under them.
Man, that's some off the grid, being on tour. That's for real off the grid barber. Was the compensation the real thorough?
I mean, no, it was thorough, genuine, definitely. It wasn't about money. It was me just growing as a young man, stepping out of Philadelphia and being responsible.
Yeah.
Being responsible and learning, life. First time I've been to California, first time I've been to Chicago. Like a lot of these places, like the first time, because of, Black Thought of the Roots.
Yeah.
Yeah, so, we have history, a lot of history. And, we're good friends and, I see him every week.
Now, I see your movement on social media is real heavy. Now, when did your social media promotion of your barbering, when did that start? Did it start with Instagram or did it start with Facebook? Now, what made you jump on Facebook?
Actually, my wife was on Facebook first. And, she had a network and talking to people. And, she made me an account. And she said you can touch more people being on Facebook. And there's a lot of people that were on there. She introduced me to it. Signed me up, gave my account, made me an email. And, my wife turned me on to it. So, but a lot of individuals that were on Facebook at the time, these are the same barbers and the same male and females that would call our barbershop asking us about the styles that they seen in the Salad Gold magazine.
Hmm.
You know what I mean? They would see that. So now it's more of a direct connection because now people can get onto Facebook and reach you fast through instant messengers for their instant message, but they would do your inbox. You know, people will be booking here, talking to you, and you know, they was just connecting. It was so connecting to social media. Then one of my barbers, he introduced me to Instagram. You know, this was about 2008 or 9. He introduced me to Instagram. So you know, Instagram been popping for maybe about 8 years or so. So you know, the same people that I connected on Facebook, you know, I started an Instagram account, and it just grew because Instagram was like Twitter and Facebook all in one. So, you know, it just grew popularity, man, to start doing more. Then I got the job at, you know, the Tonight Show, Jimmy Fallon show. That just grew even more. More pictures, more exposure.
Now, where do they film the Jimmy Fallon show at?
In New York City, Rockefeller Plaza.
Oh, so you commute from Philly to New York to do the show?
Yeah, twice a week.
Okay. And you still currently work on that show?
Yes.
Oh, okay. That's what's up. So how's that experience? You know, share with us.
That experience is great, man. You know, you get to touch all walks of life, and you get to learn. You're in celebrities, you're in their atmosphere. You know what I mean? You see how they act. You know what I'm saying? You can talk to them. You know what I mean? It's more personal and upfront. I mean, I remember when I seen Eddie Murphy. You know what I'm saying? Like that was crazy. You know what I mean? I had the opportunity to see Eddie Murphy. Like not everybody get to see him. You know what I mean? That was pretty cool. You know, Tiger Woods, you know what I'm saying? Tiger Woods, you know. I mean, you name it. I have seen them all. You know, come through the 6'4". You know, Denzel Washington came to the show. I mean, the air stopped moving when Denzel Washington walked off the elevator. So, you know, that's a great experience in itself, you know, working at the Tonight Show.
Definitely. So, when it comes to your social media, well, specifically your Instagram, you know, how did you grow your Instagram to what it is today?
I mean, what I do, you know, I like to tell stories. You know, each of my haircuts that I do, you know, I like to tell stories. The story behind each client that I cut, how I met that person. You know how you want your haircut. You know what I mean? And it just turned into a story. Then it turned into a relationship. You know, especially I treat people with respect. Everybody that I cut treat with respect.
That's what's up. That's what's up.
So my Instagram social media account is based upon, you know, respecting individuals, giving individuals what they want, you know, being kind to them, and you know, like I learned a lot of this working in the entertainment industry. You know what I mean? Treat people with respect, you know, giving he or she what they want because they're buying the brand. You know, all of the stuff that I have done was to build the Think Big brand, Passionate Barber brand, just to go that big. And you know what I mean? I just look. Like I said, by working in the entertainment industry, I see how they move, I see how they work. So, you know, I just apply that to barbering. And, you know, another good friend of mine, you know, he helped me out, Kenny Duncan. Kenny Duncan's a very good brother here in Philadelphia. And he helped me out too. He introduced me to the barber world. He said, I'm going to open you with give you exposure to the barber world. You know what I mean? Like people know you, people heard you, but I'm going to make you exposed. And you know, he helped me out. Till today, he helps me out. And he's a really good friend of mine.
That's what's up. So, are you guys in the same area of Philly during your?
Yeah, he's about 20. He's in West Philadelphia and South Philly, like 20 minutes from.
Okay. So, I actually use the Cold Label products in my shop, and there's a Bully Beard Oil, and it's a Faheem Alexander collaboration.
How that came about is I said, man, I'm cutting these celebrities, I'm cutting hair. You know, I always buy products from people and just say, yo, I don't want my own product. I want my own product. So, you know, I already was supporting Curtis Smith brand. Yeah, so I always supported Curtis Smith brand. Exotic. Another good brother, man. You know, support that. Exotic. Good guy. So, he would have these events around the country, and he happened to have one out in Vegas. So I was like, yo, I've been in Vegas one time, with the Roots. I said I want to get back there. So I went out to Vegas. He invited me out there to be on a panel, the panel discussion for barbering. He periodically just asked me to today, come be a part of my panel discussion, talk about barbering in the city. So I said, I'm going out there, but my main reason is to go out there to get the deal or strike a relationship with someone. So I'm glad I took that trip because I bumped into John Jefferson. So John, I went over to John's table, set up real professional, the cool label products. I said, I like that. And I said, yo, there's a brother behind it. I like that too. Then he said, yo, me and you got a mutual friend. So I was like, who? A gentleman by the name of Alan Hunter. Alan Hunter used to work for John Jefferson. And Alan used to speak about me highly to John Jefferson. So it's kind of like he plugged me into John, like indirectly. Well, I didn't even know, but, John was interested in me because he's seen something in me just through pictures and social media. So I told him, I was like, listen, he gave me a sample of all his products. And I said, bet, thanks. And I said, if I like it, I'm going to buy cases from you. I'd rather buy from you.
Yeah.
So, make a long story short, I was a major influence on the Cool Label brand because all the barbers followed me. So people start buying, stuff from him. And his as I grew, his brand grew. So he already had the Bully Oil, which was like the least sold product in his catalog. Least sold. Nobody wasn't doing beard oil back in 2014, 12 or 14. I think 2012, or 14. I'm not sure. I forgot the date. But wasn't nobody doing no beard oil. Wasn't nobody thinking about it. So he came to me. I think it was like Martin Luther King, holiday around that time. He's like, before that. He was like, yo, I think it was a month before that, like December 14th. He was like, yo, I forgot the years. Anyway, he was like, yo, do you mind if I, use you, like collab with you, your name, one of my products? So I said, shoot, cool. You know what I mean? I ain't never did this before. I really appreciate you just reaching out and asking.
Yeah.
Because the bully oil, the beard oil was not sold at all. But he said, man, you took that from the least sold product in my catalog to number one. Like, I sell more of that than anything because of you. So, that helped me as well, to gain exposure. Working with him and working with his, the wave community because he's real good with his pomade, his wave butter. So, I was working with that. So guys started to like that. So, that helped me too with the social media. Being affiliated with great companies helped me as well, with my social media. Because I use these products, these are the same products that I use that he would give me, and people would like them, and they would buy them. And, they started buying them from me because I would buy wholesale from him, so people buy them. So, align yourself with good people. That makes you very successful as well. Align yourself with good people.
Definitely. Just hearing your story, you've been a barber as a teenager all the way up to your late 30s right now.
Yeah.
Can you break down the art and science of barbering from Faheem Alexander's perspective?
Man, where you want to start at?
Right now, we about to philosophize, break it down. We want to know what Faheem feels on a spiritual, on a scientific.
I mean, definitely spiritually. Let's say spiritually. Definitely, God has blessed me with the talent to cut hair. God blessed me with the ability to draw. I used to draw. I had a friend of mine named Earl. When we were kids, growing up in South Philly, he can. This guy should have been a cartoonist because he used to draw the Transformers. He used to draw them fluently, like draw them with no picture. Like he was really, 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 really good. So he inspired me too to draw and to get better at drawing. God bless him too. He's going through some struggles, some tribulations in his life. But I learned drawing. Like from him, I could draw. Like my mom will buy me sketchbooks and stuff like that to draw people. So that helped me too. Like cutting hair now is to me is like drawing like when I was a kid. And like I said, spiritually, God gave me the talent to do that.
Now, the scientific part of it is pretty much like, multiplication and division, breaking that haircut down from, a 3 all the way to a 1 is incredible. Cause like right now, how you can ride a bike, you get on a bike without even thinking about it.
Mm-hmm.
That's how I've been cutting hair for so long. So it's like in me. Like I don't even think about cutting hair. I just know to do it efficiently and get it done right.
I like that you brought up the word efficient. That's very important. I feel like when you master barbering, you are extremely efficient and proficient.
Yeah, I'm definitely efficient with it though. I'm definitely tooting my horn because, I stood up on these legs for many, many years. So, I'm definitely tooting my horn, bro.
No, definitely. Cut Game Radio Show, that's what we do. We like to inspire, motivate, and we like to celebrate legendary barbers. And you, Faheem, are a legendary barber.
Thank you. I appreciate it, man. I really worked a lot of long years in the industry. And, I'm still going.
Now, what's next 1 year, 3 years, 5 years for Faheem Alexander?
Entrepreneurship. Free enterprise. You like Jay-Z's new record 444?
Oh, yeah.
My mentor been doing that since the 90s, what Jay-Z talking about. So I have the opportunity to do that. Owning my own business, owning the land that my shop is on, owning that, just keep going and just keep building.
Now, how long have you had your shop?
17 years.
Now, what's the name of your shop?
Faheem's Decision.
Now, can you take us back when you first cracked the door open to that shop? What was the process of you opening up your shop?
Well, one of the things when I was young, I used to ride my bike a lot. Okay, here. From South Philly to North Philly, West Philly, being on my bike. So I would always ride past this building. And I said, Dad, just wishful thinking. I said, I want this building. I want this building to be my shop. And I want this building to be my landmark. And fast forward from 1995 to year 2000, a new owner came in and had the place. Now I had left my mentor and I went to rent like a small establishment up the street. Didn't go well. I was only there for about 13 months. I planned my move. It was a strategic move because it was right timing. So I knocked on the door. The new owner was in there cleaning the place out. And he had a for rent sign up there. I'm glad because I beat the other barbers to it that wanted to rent that place. I beat them to it. And, Italian brothers bought it, man. They're angel, man. One of the best dudes I've ever met in my life, man. All of this racism stuff going on with anti, savages, this clear and crap, man. That's something mental with these cats got going on, man. A guy that I met, Caucasian Italian brother, man. He saved my life, man. He told me, I'm gonna let you rent my place. But he said, only one thing that don't do in my place. He said, don't sell no drugs on my place. And I said, sir, you don't have to worry about that because I don't sell no drugs. Here is what I want. And I want to establish myself. So I see he allowed me to establish myself for 17 years. And, within the 17 years, I got to a little real estate. I owned a little real estate, stuff like that. So, gentrification has hit Philadelphia. So I was able to sell, one of my properties and, the profit was great. So it allowed me to purchase the building that my barbershop is in, along with, it has a few apartments in it too.
Hey.
So, I'm, just that free enterprise that what Jay-Z talking about, I've been having my eyes on it, 15, 20 years ago. I hire brothers to get the jobs and I said help people out. I don't turn my eye or turn my cheek to, young brothers that want to out. And barbering is definitely out.
Now, in your shop, how many barbers you have working there?
About 8. 8 people. It's like a revolving door. You got some guys that you can't get along, guys that you can't get along with. So some brothers I gotta let go.
Now, how was staffing the shop when you first cracked it open?
I had some really good people working with me. From my previous location, some guys that just stuck with me. And, you know, they believe in me, I believe in them, and, you know, we formed a solid team. And, you know, as I was going, they were learning. So, you know, they since left me to go open their own establishment, do their own thing. And, you know, God bless them, my hats off to them. But, you know, I just had to keep it rolling, keep it moving, keep it tight.
That's what's up.
So,
Man, we thank you for sharing your story with us on the Cut Game Radio Show. A few more questions though. We gotta really, you know, we here to pick your brain. One word that describes you. One word.
passion.
Passion about barbering, or are you passionate about everything you
About
put your hands on?
life, everything I put my hands on. Cause I'm gonna get it done right.
I like that. If there was one thing, one adjustment you could make in your journey as a barber, what would that one adjustment be?
Going to school.
Now, when you say school, you mean
Going
college?
to barber school.
Now, why is that? Break that down for us.
Because in Philadelphia or Pennsylvania, we have apprenticeship programs.
Mm-hmm.
Where so you can earn your 1250 hours needed to obtain your barber license. But going to school and learning the barbershop structure from a professional standpoint. So all the profession I had to learn on my own, from my upbringing at home, my foundation at home. I kind of applied that to the barbershop. And that's what made my barbershop. You know what I'm saying? Just my upbringing at home has helped me.
I can dig it.
So we have apprenticeship programs here in Philly, so you don't have to go to school. You can learn from a licensed barber, a licensed barber manager or a licensed barber instructor. And you can obtain your license from under them, working at their shop. So that's what I did under my mentor. You know what I mean? My mentor had his license, manager's license, teacher's license, so he trained me to take my Pennsylvania barbering thing. That's how I got my license. I've been licensed since about 1998. Yeah, 1998, I've been licensed.
Now, when did you graduate high school?
In 1996.
Okay. That's what's up. Just got to ask you, what we always ask every guest on our show is, if there was a code of conduct for barbers, what code will Faheem Alexander add?
With code, being loyal, and not, huddling up with people and making a move, because that will interrupt your friendship that you build with people. Being loyal, being solid with individuals. I'm 30% your friend or 10% your friend. Is either you gonna be 100% or no percent. So that's pretty important to me.
So look, right now we're gonna give you the stage. Right now, there's a young Faheem Alexander that's listening to this on the podcast. Share some wisdom with that young Faheem so he can become the legendary barber that you are today.
Legendary barber, come to work or practice barbering every day like it's your last day. Treat it like it's your first day on the job. Practice and keep practicing the profession like it's your first day on the job. You would be successful. Don't lose that hunger. Take your little money that you make in the barbershop, constantly invest in yourself, which is very, very important. And be honest and be solid. Just be straight up with people and do a very good job. Take your time.
Nah, definitely. Now, right now, you got the stage. Let them know where they can find you, Faheem. Let them know where they can follow you. Let them know where they can reach you.
Well, you can catch me at my barbershop, pretty much like 7 days a week. I love my barbershop. It's located at 2100 South 20th Street, Philadelphia, PA, 19145. And the number to the shop, area code 215-271-7098. You can catch me there daily. I'm always there. And I also got some pretty good guys that cut in and can serve your needs. Or, my social media is Fa the Barber 1, number 1, F-A-H, Barber, B-A-R-B-E-R. Fa the Barber, number 1. That would be my Instagram and my Twitter account. So you can catch me there. And I have a website too, FaheemTransportation.com, which is very good. Some very good reviews. I had new clients show up this week, just to tell me that they just like my overall brand and how I carry myself. And they like my website. Website's pretty cool. So, you know, I gained a lot of notoriety from that because I invested into a good website, which is very important, young brothers. Invest in yourself.
Man, well, thank you, Faheem. We appreciate you spending time with us on the Cut Game Radio Show. I want you guys to please check out his social media, give him a follow, like his content. I mean, like he said earlier, you know, it's a lot of stories. He's very respectful, and he puts out good work. He's not using the name Precision lightly. You know, I love the brother's work, respect him. Philadelphia, if you guys are familiar with the style and the quality that comes out of Philadelphia, is crazy. And for Faheem to be one of the elite barbers out of Philadelphia, that just says a lot. So you guys give him a follow and stay groomed. Make sure you follow us on YouTube. Leave us a review on our iTunes. So y'all stay on y'all jet fuel. Cut Game Radio Show. We out.
All right, man.
Peace.
That concludes our show. Please join us next week as we chop up game and share secrets to success on the Cut Game Radio Show.